Welcome to the EzDent Eye settings and configuration video. In this video, we'll be going over recommended settings and how to configure EzDent Eye with your X-ray device. To access EzDent Eye's settings, first click on the EzDent Eye button in the top left corner of your screen. Then select Settings in the field that's shown below. This is EzDent Eye's setting prompt window. As you can see, we have the Environment tab, Acquisition, Viewer, Simulation, Console, and Report, similar to the tabs that are in EzDent Eye. Within each of these sections, you will see multiple categories which can be configured to your liking. The first recommended settings change which should be done is changing the tooth code to the universal system as shown here. When we click on the Database tab, we'll notice that there's an IP address listed here. This IP address should correspond with the location of your server. Please consult with your IT professional for more help determining what your IP address may be. When we click on the Patient tab, we'll first notice that there's automatic chart numbering that's checked off. If you'd like to always manually enter your own chart numbers, please deselect this automatic checkbox. Below this, we have our display name options. By default, we show last name and first name. However, you can also select first name, comma, first name, and full name. In this case, I'll select last name, comma, first name. Moving on to the Linkage tab, we'll notice that we need to actually link a 3D viewer to EzDent Eye if you have a CT device. First, select EZ3D Plus from the drop-down menu, and then find the EZ3D Plus path. The default path of this particular program is on the C drive located in the EZ3D 2009 folder. Here, select EZ3D2009.exe. Moving on to the Clinic Information tab, here you would enter your clinic's information which would show on your reports. Next, let's explore the Acquisition section of the settings window. If we look at the save options, we'll notice that I/O sensor, I/O camera, and Twain are all set to manual by default. We recommend that these settings be changed to auto DB save. Now that we've completed these recommended changes to the settings, click the OK button. For now, we can ignore the prompt regarding a restart to EzDent Eye because we still need to edit our print settings. We can edit our print settings when we go to the Report tab of EzDent Eye. Unfortunately, these icons are not selectable unless we're in a patient's chart. So in this case, please note that I'm in Jane Doe's chart as shown in the upper right corner of the interface. Click on our Print Settings button, which looks like a printer with a gear on it. The first change that needs to be made here is the size of the paper. We should select Letter from the drop-down menu because it's a standard size for most printers. Below that, we have our orientation, which is portrait and landscape, and you could select that depending on what your needs are. The next setting is image information. Here we recommend that you hide the image information to maximize the image size in your reports. I'll quickly show you what it looks like under this setting. I've clicked and dragged this pano into our image box here, and as you can see, there's no image information below the image. When we turn this setting on, however, we'll notice that image information does populate within the image box listed below this particular image. Ultimately, it's up to the user to change these settings towards their preferences. To begin configuring your CTR panel, first go to the Acquisition tab of EzDent Eye. On the Capture PC, we'll notice that there's CT, Pano, and Cephalo listed in the left column here. If you don't see these options on your Capture PC, we'll have to go into EzDent Eye, then Settings, find the Acquisition section and the Console Program tab, and make sure that the console program path corresponds to what's shown here. Next, we'll open up the Capture Program software. Please note that you actually do need to be in a patient's chart to do this. In this case, I'll click on the Panorama button, and we'll see that our Capture Program opens up in Pano mode. A telltale sign that this is not configured properly is that the patient information in the bottom left does not match our actual patient. We'll remedy this by clicking on the Settings button, which is the two gears in the upper right corner. Then, in the prompt that appears, select Engineer and type in the Engineer Mode password. In the following prompt, click on the General tab, and then go to the Patient Information settings. Please make the following changes. Select Patient Info File under the drop menu, and then for Patient Info Path, select EXE. If you'd like, you could also manually type this in, however, make sure that it's copied as shown here. Next, we'll go to Database and Linking and select SDK Link. Please change the capture message to Capture in all caps. A common mistake that's made during configuration is that people write captured rather than capture. The final change which needs to be made is changing the image type to DICOM as shown here. Now that we've completed these settings changes, click on Save, click on OK on the prompt, and finally close out this control panel. Before we take a test shot, we're actually going to need to restart this capture software. Click on the X in the upper right to close out of the capture software, and then click on the Pano button once again on EzDent Eye to reopen it. The first thing we'll notice is that the patient information on the bottom left now matches the patient information which is shown on EzDent Eye. We'll try taking our first capture shot by clicking on Confirm, and then when prompted, the Ready button. After the image is reconstructed, select which image you'd like to save and click on the Save button. A successful capture will show a success message in the center of EzDent Eye. We can then view our captured image on the Viewer tab. Prior to using EzDent Eye with EZ3D Plus, the two programs must be linked together. In this example, we already have a CT captured for our patient Jane Doe. To link EZ3D Plus with EzDent Eye, first we'll go to EzDent Eye, then the Settings button, and then click on the Linkage and Email tab. As you can see, the 3D viewer path is currently empty. I'll begin this linkage by clicking on the drop-down menu and selecting EZ3D Plus. Then I have to direct EzDent Eye to EZ3D Plus by finding it within my particular folders. By default, EZ3D Plus is installed on the C drive in the EZ3D 2009 folder. Be sure to select EZ3D2009.exe, the application version, and when you're done, click on Open. Now that we've defined where our 3D viewer is, click on OK. We'll test our linkage by opening a CT, and we can do this by double-clicking on our CT scan. The CT scan will uncompress and then open in EZ3D Plus, indicating a successful linkage between the two programs. Once you have completed configuring your settings on the EzDent Eye console version, which is usually installed on the PC connected to your PAN or CT device, you can quickly sync these settings onto your workstations. To begin, first, click on the EzDent Eye button located in the upper left corner, then Settings. In the Settings window that appears, you'll see a Sync button located in the upper right corner of the window. Upon clicking this button, EzDent Eye will synchronize the settings which are set on the Capture PC connected to your PAN or CT device. To give an example of what this means, first, I would input my customized settings on my CT or PAN Capture PC. Then I would go to a workstation in a different operatory and then click the Sync button. After doing so, my workstation will have the exact same customized settings as my Capture PC. If you don't have one of our CT or PAN devices, EzDent Eye will synchronize with whichever computer you've installed the console version of our imaging software. Also, please note that linkage settings, such as linking with 3D software programs like EZ3D Plus, will not sync across the network and must be set on individual workstations. This concludes our EzDent Eye settings and configuration video. If you have any additional questions, please check vatechamerica.com or contact our customer service.